So, welcome back guys. Today is going to be a centipede video. Look at that, that's a very hungry little centipede right there. And I haven't posted anything on the centipedes for a very long time, which is actually quite a shame now that I think about it, since they are some of my favorite animals still, right after the scorpions and the snakes and the tarantulas. They are right up there for me. Since I do think they are just as beautiful. Look at this one. This is a red legs subspinipes, Scolopendra subspinipes. Really pretty. Actually gonna give him a second one in the next clip. You're gonna see now. There we go. Still very hungry. This is actually all some old footage that I wanted to show at the beginning of the video. I'm not even too sure if I may have posted it already or not, but basically I have 3 centipedes, 3 different species, and I wanted to show all of them before we are going into the live feeding of the mouse, which I'm going to feed to the cherry red centipede. But again, first I'm going to show you the 2 other centipedes I have, one being this Scolopendra subspinipes red legs, as I mentioned already. There we go, and this is the other centipede I got, the Scolopendra pieceoflava, another very nice species of Asian giant centipede. They originate from Sulawesi, and again very pretty with that kind of banded pattern he has going on. He does have his last leg pair. There is one leg missing, but other than that he's a perfect animal and a very good eater. I actually have a video uploaded already where I was feeding him a mouse. But there we go. Let's see if he likes to have another one. Again, this is some old footage, however the actual footage following up where I'm feeding the live mouse is very recently recorded. There we go, look at that. And I am going to speak out a warning for all the more sensitive viewers. Because as you can imagine already, the centipedes, they are not able to swallow their prey items. They kind of have to cut them open and suck out the liquefied insides, which is a bit gory and bloody. So it is nothing for the faint of heart, I have to admit, but it is still interesting to look at how they consume a large prey item. So get ready for the clip now. I'm gonna play it. There we go, look at that. Boom, and he located the mouse immediately and delivered the strike right to the head, see? The mouse is still twitching around a bit, but I can assure you that that venom took it out pretty much immediately. There's just some muscles still twitching. It's actually not even delivered into the head now that I have a closer look at it. The venom was delivered more into in the back spine. See, it definitely was a very humane takedown. You can't really tell me otherwise. This is just as humane as offering the animal a pre-killed prey item. As you just saw there, the mouse was dead within only a few seconds. And the invertebrates, they are very good at envenomating a proportionately sized mammal prey item also. Same goes for the spiders too. The thing is that centipedes, of course, they don't have fangs like a spider. They also don't have a stinger like a scorpion, of course. But instead they have venom claws, basically. The first leg pair that they got is modified in a way that it is connected to venom glands inside the head of the centipede. And with this first leg pair and the claw at the end of either of those legs, they are able to deliver the venom. Just like you know, a spider with his fangs, or also kind of similar to a snake. But of course they are not using their jaws. But these, again, this first leg segment basically. And you can now see that this centipede is already starting to try and devour the mouse.
And again, I can only speak the warning out one last time now that it is going to get a little bit bloody at this point, because what is going to happen now is the centipede will use these venom claws to kind of cut up a wound in the mouse. Then he is going to use his venom and the spewed digestive enzymes from his gut to dissolve the mouse from the inside, and he is going to suck out all the liquefied organs and body tissue, also the blood, of course, and so on. You are going to see it in a moment. There we go. He has started to open up that wound from where he can deliver his digestive enzymes that he will use to devour the prey item. You are going to see just how much he is going to consume of that mouse. When I feed the tarantulas a small mouse like that, they are pretty much able to dissolve it entirely and eat more or less everything from it, but compared to the slimly built centipede, this is of course a gigantic prey item that is not only going to feed him for a very long time, but also he is going to have a hard time in general to basically eat all of that. He is not only going to leave the skeleton and most of the extremities behind, but he will just kind of eat whatever he can manage, and will just leave the rest of the carcass to rot, which is kind of important that if you feed a centipede a mouse, that you kind of stay there during the feeding process, then remove the rest of the prey item immediately right after he is finished with the meal, because otherwise that would be, of course, very unhygienic to leave that that carcass of the mouse infused with the digestive enzymes rotting there for only a few minutes inside the cage. We don't need to have that, and we need to keep nice, clean and hygienic conditions for the centipedes also, of course, when we have them in captivity. There we go. So now you can see that big wound that the centipede did cut open with his venom claws. From that he is now going to consume the mouse. You are going to see how that is going to go down. Also you can nicely see those claws now at the first leg segment right after the head. See? Very beautiful. And I don't even know if I mentioned it already, but this is the Scolopendra dehaani. That's the exact species name, to be exact. Another Asian centipede species. Again, as I mentioned already, I have 3 different centipedes. You saw the Scolopendra subspinipes and pieceoflava eating those crickets before, and now again this is the Scolopendra dehaani, the cherry red centipede. This is a highland variant. The dehaanis are in general very variable centipede species, and not all have this nice bright red coloration. There we go. Now he's chewing out all the liquefied insides, all those liquefied organs and so on. He did that with his digestive enzymes that he spewed up in this wound from his jaws, and also with the venom that is delivered with the claws too. And you can also nicely see how he is kind of folding his antennae backwards, so he can feast without them getting a little bit dirty maybe. The centipedes seem to be very keen on keeping their antennae always nice and clean. You can often see after they have a big meal like that they clean out their antennae using their jaws,
Maybe we are going to see that too, but right now, of course, he is still very much busy with devouring the mouse. Very nice. Don't know if you can see it well enough. You can also kind of see the little eyes he got on either side of his head. The centipedes, even though they do have eyes, they are still very much totally blind. Very similar to the tarantulas and scorpions. They can't really make out anything with their eyesight. Their eyes are only there for them to tell apart the difference between being in the dark or being out in the light. So they can, not only tell the difference from being day from day and night, and if they are hidden or not, but they can't really make out like even the silhouette of a prey item or anything. For detecting prey, they only rely on their vibrations, similar to the scorpions and tarantulas, but also their very keen tactile sense. And of course, the two antennae also, with which they can smell and taste both the air and also the ground. There we go. So we can see the centipede is making some good progress with him feasting on the mouse. He basically is apparently eating up the dissolved flesh along the back vertebrate, in which he delivered the venom initially. Very interesting to see for sure. You can also see him occasionally using his claws to cut up the wound larger, so you can get his head back in there. You can kind of see it now. Yeah, but this is basically how he's going to consume that prey. Of course, very different to what you are used to seeing from the snakes on my channel, which, just gulp up the mouse. Of course, the centipedes aren't able to do that in the slightest, just like their arachnid relatives. The spiders and the scorpions, they can only consume things that are already liquefied. That is why most of the digestion happens basically outside of the centipede's body, with the digestive enzymes liquefying the prey, just right there where they got taken out, and then all the, edible stuff is going to sucked in from the centipede. This also is the reason why they don't really poop a lot, different to the snakes also, just because they only feast on everything that they actually need and need for their system, and not much is going to come out at the end of it, which can't be made use of. There we go. Look at these venom claws. Don't know if he's done with feeding already. Then he wouldn't have ate too much, but I think he is definitely going to eat some more. See, he's only going to clean his jaws for a moment. Maybe something got clotted up. See, he's cleaning his antennae also. Yeah, that's what I mean with them always trying to keep their antennae nice and clean. But I think after he's done with that, he will probably continue feeding. I will put on the lid though again, just so to make sure that he won't make a run or something. Look, he is going to start feasting again. I think I'm gonna put the box back in the larger bin, and then we can observe the rest of the feeding, or maybe I'm going to do a cut and you can see the end result. So that's what's left of the mouse. He ate actually most of it. I'm kind of impressed, since he isn't the largest centipede, but He did manage to devour most of the mouse except the tail and of course the legs and claws and the skeleton, but he pretty much ate all the flesh alongside of the back vertebrate, and you can see what's left in there. Pretty impressive if you ask me.